I'm now with Andrew Anderson on the Volvo Owners Club Stand. Good morning, Andrew, and welcome to the Classic Motor Show 2025.
Yeah, morning. I'm with the Volvo Owners Club, and today we've got this very special car, which is the Volvo P1900, made a mistake there, or Volvo Sport. So it's their rarest production model. They only made 68. For some reason they go up to chassis number 67 because probably someone couldn't count in the factory. There are two chassis number 20s, the 20A and the 20B. So this is the, as I say, we know where chassis 67 is. I've got a list in the car of all the owners worldwide. Most are in America and Sweden. There's a few elsewhere. This is the only one in the UK. It's been here for a couple of years. The only one that I know has ever lived and been registered in the UK. And it's great fun to drive. The reason,
what year is it?
This is, they only made them in 56 and 57, so this is a 57 car. It's towards the end of the production run. It was first registered in California to a certain Johnny Weissmuller, I'm told, allegedly, for the camera. Now, those of you who don't know who he was an Olympic swimmer and also played Tarzan in the early films and was famous for the Tarzan call, which I hear was totally unscripted, but every Tarzan film since has had that famous call. Yeah. So I don't know how he fitted in this car because it's quite a tight squeeze for me, and I'm no Tarzan. But you know, basically Volvo wanted a sports car in the 50s, because they wanted to promote the PV in America, the PV444, and get a bigger market. And that's hence the production of this car. Assar Gabrielson, who was the chairman at the time, was in America. He went to the glass bar factory where they were making fiberglass bodies for boats and cars, and he thought, "Whoa, we could do a fiber, because this is fiberglass, this car." So they got the bodies and they put a quick tubular steel chassis, PV running gear, and the car was up and running quite quickly. It is the smallest production run because it really wasn't up to Volvo's quality standards, so they pulled the plug. But that did lead to the introduction of they still needed a sports car, so the P1800 was born on the demise of this car. So had this car been a success, we might never have had that P1800, which everybody really admires as one of Volvo's iconic cars. But I'm really pleased to have got this. Buying cars like this is a real challenge. You know, I had to move very quickly to get this. Went for sale in Belgium. I was in contact that evening and I was viewing the car the next day, and he'd had about 40 inquiries in less than 24 hours of putting this online. So, you know, these are really rare as hen's teeth. And
so can you give me a brief spec on it, on the engine and everything?
So yeah, it's a 1400cc engine, so it's the same as in the PV444 in the 50s. The difference between this, that would have had a single carburettor. This has got twin SUs, right. So it's got a bit more power. It's a much lighter car as well, being fiberglass. So yeah, but it is basically, other than the twin SUs, it's bog standard PV444 running gear. And even the wheels, the tyres, the hubcaps are all PV444.
And how does it run? How does it handle?
So when I first got it, it was a bit lumpy. I don't think people had used it for a while, but it is now. Now it runs really well. It takes a while to start, as a lot of cars, these old cars with mechanical fuel pumps. It takes a while to get the petrol up from the tank. But no, it's great. It gives you great delight to drive this car, I have to say.
So can you give me any history on any other cars on the stand?
So the theme for the show was best of both worlds. So we wanted to display this convertible. We thought we'd complement it with some modern convertibles.
Right.
So at the end of the stand there, we've got
the silver one, yeah. 3
incarnations of the C70. So the silver one is an early ragtop, the Mark 1 C70, right. Which is derived from sort of 850 saloon and estate cars. I've actually got one of those as well. That's not my car. Most of the ones you see for sale are the 2 litre. I'll carry on in a minute.
It's okay.
Yeah, okay. So most of them are 2 litres. That one is a 2.4 low pressure turbo. They did a T5, which is the 2.3 high pressure turbo. Great fun to drive. And the thing about those, they are affordable classics. Right. You know, okay. Ron and I paid £2,000 for those cars
really?
a few years ago. Yeah. You know, and when we tell people,
Amazing for such a car, yeah.
When we tell people that, they can't believe it,
No.
you know. But you can get a 4-seater convertible, and that's a lot. That's very little money for a lot of fun.
There's a lot of car there, isn't there?
There is, and that's, as I say, that's, you know, that'll rattle along in modern traffic very well. This one, you don't want to be going on the motorway.
So what about the red one?
So that's Darren's. That's the Mark II C70. That's won many competitions in the club. It's in concourse condition. If you look at that, it's much cleaner than any other cars here. So that's the tin top. When we had one of those on the stand when they were first launched at one of these shows, and it really was a crowd puller because it was the first metal convertible with the 3-section, and people just stood and watched as this three layers all fold away. And then the black one on the end is again a Mark II C70, but it's the facelift version. So if you look at it closely, you'll find there's some subtle modifications. It's got fair raked headlights, and the back is slightly different. It's essentially the same car, but it was a sort of facelift version. So I wanted to show people all three. All three of those cars are now relatively inexpensive to get you into what I call the classic market. The other car around the other side of the house is it's an 1800. It was originally an 1800 ES, but it's an open top car now. Hesitate to call it a convertible because Jeff has not put a roof on it, so he's just cut it off. So it is a fair weather car. Volvo had thoughts of producing a convertible but never did, but there are lots of aftermarket companies, Volvoville in America, Radford in this country, who took standard 1800 coupes and turned them into convertibles. So you do see some around. Again, it's nice as a convertible as well, you know. But
well, they all look amazing. I've got to say they do.
Well, I'm pleased you like it. You know, we like to get unusual cars, but then we like to showcase cars that actually people visiting the show who want to get into the classic market it can be affordable for them. It's not, you know, some of the cars are very expensive, you know, to get into the classic market. You know, you're talking Astons and Ferraris. Well, you're in another league, aren't you? But it needn't be like that. No. You know, you can get a really nice old car, and that car, that could be that's an 03. So you're looking at what, 22 years old. But just look at it. There's not a speck of rust on it, and that will keep up with modern traffic, no problem at all.
Oh, no problem, I would think.
Although, you know, you might be able to get the car for £2,000. I bought myself a spare hood before they stopped making them from Volvo. That cost me £3,000. So you just need to bear in mind that these were expensive cars at the time, and so if you do need parts, you need to bear that in mind. But you know, look carefully, buy carefully.
There's parts out there anyway.
You can still get quite a few of the parts. Some you can't. I've got a small stash because I know what happens when you get to that sort of age with cars, and parts availability becomes a challenge. But yes, this car, luckily, it's PV, and if you go to Sweden, you can get all the bits. You know, because the PV car is very popular in Sweden, and there's a big following, so it justifies having that market for the bits. So I know I can get bits for this car. That steering wheel is standard. You know, I can probably get most of this stuff. But it's nice to. I like putting a smile on people's faces when they see something unusual they haven't seen before, and they've never seen that before. It's good.
Well, thank you, Andrew, for all the information on the cars. It's very good of you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, good to see you.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. That's brilliant. Thank you.